welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us here today at Lemon Tree Corner. I am your host Heather and we're going to do a Yarny update. So I wanted to show you guys where I'm at with my chunky Bronwyn shawl. So fourth time is the charm and I have not torn it apart, so we are committed at this point. So we started out with this purple and went into the blue colors, which is really pretty. And now we are on to the greens. We're at the tail end of the teal greens, and then we're going to be going into the lighter greens. And at this point, we're so wide at this point that one of these sections really takes one of the minis, and I've got about 5 left. So once we do those 5, we've got a section of an end section with this mushroom yarn that we're going to do. And then we are done with the shawl. Yay! So very excited about that, to have a shawl I can wear. First piece of wearable, well, I wouldn't say that. I've done scarves and stuff before. And then the next project we are going to work on is the Flatiron Shawl. So I'm really loving these triangle shawls by TL Yarn Crafts. And this is another just regular crochet shawl. And you'll remember that last year we were working on this shawl, and I've just kind of gotten to a point where I don't like it. You know, if I could take this color out and just have this, it would be great, but then it wouldn't really be a shawl, it would be a scarf. And I'm just kind of not liking that it just boom, boom, stops and transitions. And it's a very thick texture because I did a linen stitch on this, and it's very tight. And it's very heavy, and I live in Southern California, so I don't ever really need, I mean, unless I go traveling to someplace cold, I really don't need a scarf that's this thick. So when I found this pattern, I thought, oh, that would be perfect, because I'm going to transition from the mint here into the pink. And then I don't quite like this color here. As you'll remember, I couldn't get any more skeins of this, so this is 2 skeins of this mint color, and then I found this pink which went very well with this. It was like amazing, 2 completely different dyers, except one of these wasn't enough, and when I contacted the seller, she said she no longer dyes yarn. She went on to something else, so I can't get another one of these. And then I found this one, and I was just, and it was going to be 2, 1, 2. And it's going to look really weird. So this way I think we're set. We're going to go 2 into 1, and I like that we add in the color here and it blends in. And then I think I'm just going to do this border with this darker color because I think it adds a nice contrast. I just don't want this big chunk of it. So we will be tearing this apart and getting ready to make the Flatiron Shawl with this yarn. But I think that's a good thing because I obviously haven't gotten anywhere on this shawl for a while because I just didn't like the way it looked. And then I wanted to give you a yarn haul. My sister and I went to the Alamitos Bay Yarn Company. Great place. We hadn't been there in years. And we were both in the mood to buy some hand-dyed yarn. So we went there. I tried filming in the store, but she was very uncomfortable with that, so I told her I wouldn't film anything. So no footage for you to watch of the store, but that's okay. We respect people when they ask us not to film. And it's so weird because I used to go into stores and ask if I could film, and I'm just so used to people like not caring that I didn't even ask, which is bad because this is a small business. And I really should have asked first. So here we are. They did have some Bird Street yarn, which is great because they're like the only US seller of Bird Street yarn. And I was looking at that. And they had some zebra yarn, which I love from Bird Street. But I just didn't like the color. It wasn't really a color that I wanted to work with. It was a little too much like that pink we were just talking about. So I went with some La Jolla fingering weight yarn, because I saw this beauty. I watched a YouTube video from Expression Fiber Arts, I'll link it below, where they make this Adalia shawl. Now they don't go through the whole shawl pattern. I still had to go purchase the pattern, but they show you how to do a few rows of this and the special stitch here. So you could pretty much do the whole thing based on the video except for this border here, which is probably just the first part of this special stitch. Anyway, this calls for fingering weight yarn, and so that's what I went there to get. And I got these beauties. First, my sister had picked these out for a shawl she wants to make and then changed her mind. But I was so in love with them by the time she put them back. I'm like, you can't put those back. I'm taking them. You're not going to take them. So I got these ones. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if we can get another picture of the shawl here for you. Okay, so it's basically like a half circle shawl. And you see it's mainly one color, but then another color comes in. So I'm going to do the main body with this. And then I'm going to do some stripes of this like they have. They have a third color, but I'm not going to worry about the third color. So we're just going to do it with these ones, which are beautiful. And very excited about that. I just watched another video of hers, which is the Pemberley shawl, which is also really nice. So I might go ahead and do I might download the Pemberley pattern and do it. It's another half circle crochet shawl. Yeah, but it looks really interesting, so I might do that as well. But we bought this yarn for that, and I am going to be a good girl and wait until I'm done with these two shawls to do that. And then I got these. I just love this color. Part of me was wondering if I could mix this color with these colors, because it has all of these colors in it, doesn't it? It's very cool. It's very similar, but it's fingering weight yarn, so I don't really want to mix it in with this DK weight yarn. And I think I have a good plan with that other shawl pattern. I think I'm really gonna like that. But I couldn't resist getting these. I got 3. I don't know if I'm gonna make a scarf or what. It's fingering weight, so it's gonna take more yarn to get me up to where I'm going. And I'll play around with this, but this color is called Strange Magic. And all of these, I believe, are, yeah, superwash merino wool, hand dyed. So they're each 115 grams. So that'll be good for a project. Not really sure what I want to do with that. I might wind up doing one of the Tunisian crochet patterns. Let's see. Oh, this one might be nice. The Serenity shawl I downloaded from TL Yarn Crafts. It's a very holy pattern here. So that might be a good one. This is kind of a gradient. It goes into another color. But yeah, that one might be good for that. Got a blanket I downloaded. So I've got quite a few patterns of hers that I definitely want to do the adventurous scarf. That's probably going to be my first Tunisian crochet pattern. Still looking for hooks for that. I did not like the hooks I bought on Amazon. But yeah, really interested in doing that. Oh, that's right, I bought this scarf from Expression Fiber Arts as well. And then I have that blanket we were going to use for the minis that I don't know what I'm doing with that now. I might go ahead and do, yeah, if I could find like a rainbow set like the hobby yarn, that might be interesting for this. Although, you know, this is complicated and I don't have a video to watch. So maybe we will hang off on that one for a couple of years. So that, oh, and let me get the other project that we were going to work on. So nothing really set with these yet, but I was thinking a scarf and a hat would be pretty in those. Or maybe another shawl. I'm just very into shawls right now. So I'm going to keep this pattern with the yarn so that I remember that's what it's for. And the other project left over from last year, besides the Moroccan blanket, which I have to get back to at some point, is our Starburst Granny Square blanket. I was originally going to do a blanket for our bed, which is California king size, but I just finished making the quilts, and that's super colorful, and I think that's going to be enough. I don't know that I need a blanket for the bed in these bright colors. So I might go ahead and change this over to a lap blanket for my couch, which would be nice to have, you know, very colorful for spring. So I'll have to see, I'll have to look at the layout I did. I did like a grid layout of how many squares I needed, and obviously that will be less for a lap blanket. So I have to rejigger that and figure out how many I need, and then I can start putting these together because, you know, they're all, I have filled up my blocking board here, and I can really start just sewing these together at any point. So I'm going to redo the grid and sew these together so I can figure out how many more I need now that I'm making it a smaller blanket. Yay! So very excited about all these crochet projects that we have for this year. And I'm trying not to add any more at this point because we're doing the year of bags. So I have lots of stuff already going on. But yeah, very excited about this. For the two shawls that are in the works, especially this one, we've got a trip coming up to the central coast of California that I'm sure is going to be blustery because it's going to be April. So I'm sure that's going to be a good place for me to wear that. And yeah, so I'll be able to wear those, and hopefully the other shawl, or at least I can work on the other shawl when we go on that trip. We'll see how far I get. But yeah, very excited about this. What are you up to? What are you crocheting or making? Pop it in the comments below and let us see what you're working on. And I also have an Instagram at Lemon Tree Corner. I would love to see what you're working on, or if you need a project bag, you can visit lemontreecorner.com. I've got lots of project bags in there. I've got these ones with the drawstring. I also have other project bags with zippers and some cute little progress keepers if you're interested in those. So. And I forgot to show you the Tunisian crochet we did. So I just did a little block of Tunisian crochet as a little sampler. Yeah, so very cute. It's curling up at this point, but I really like the structure. It's pretty tight. This is just the basic Tunisian crochet stitch. There's a bunch more, but I just did this with my regular crochet hook because it's not very wide. So it stayed on my hook just fine, and I will be looking for a better set of Tunisian crochet hooks for whenever we get to that adventurous scarf. The book I'm reading right now is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I really like it. It's been very good so far, very cute storyline, and then all of a sudden a romance element was put in. So I don't know that it really needed that, but now it's turned into a romance book, which I like a good romance novel, but I just kind of wasn't expecting it. So we'll see where this goes. I did finish Dune. It took quite a while to finish, but it was fairly good. It was a little anticlimactic at the end. It just kind of stopped. I was like, what kind of an ending is that? And then I found out it's a series of books. So that's why it ended so weird. So I'm going to have to go find out what the other books are called so I can continue listening to the Dune story. It was very good, very well written, and I really liked it. So if you're interested, hashtag not sponsored, but Audible has some really good stuff on there, and I like listening to it while I'm working on projects.
Too far away from my hometown. With my family I am bound.
We are almost done. Yay. Okay, so we have done a much smaller section of this than we were supposed to because the thing is huge. I mean, first of all, I probably should have stopped here and started doing the striping earlier than that. but we've gotten through the majority of our colors. I just took a few of the greens out at the end here. Done this, and now we're doing this cool bobble border. So that's pretty fun. And yeah, so almost done with that. And we just took apart the other shawl. So as soon as I'm done with this, which is gonna be, well, my hands hurt now because I've been doing this all weekend. So probably tomorrow night, not tonight, we'll finish this out. And then I have the wool wash, but I have to buy some blocking boards so I can block all of this out. And then we can call that a day and start wearing it, which is really fun. So, yay, very excited to have my first shawl done. We have finished our shawl, yay! So first shawl done, very, very, very long. I don't even know how I'm gonna wrap this around me. And now I need to buy the blocking boards so we can block it all out and get this uncurled. But let me show you what it looks like, and then we're ready to start on the next one, so that's great. Okay, so it's much longer than it should be, because you remember I made it longer. So I'm gonna wrap it around, so I've got two really nice long tails that I can go over my shoulder with. And I also have one of those connector things, but I don't even know if I would need it in this case. So we've got the shawl, very nice, very cozy, and as soon as I block it, I can start wearing it to work. So very excited about that. And we tore apart the previous one, so we are back to balls of yarn for this one and ready to start on the next one. Now she says to use an M hook for this one, an H hook for this one, but I'm not sure. I might want it a little lighter, looser than that, because I think these are all single crochets. Let me see. Yeah, I think these are all single crochets. So I'll have to see if I want to use the H. Yeah, it's DK weight yarn, so it's DK weight, and I think she used, what does she use for this one? So she used fingering weight with the H hook. So I think since mine is DK, I might go up a hook size. So I'm gonna do a little swatch first and see what it looks like, and then make a decision and get started on the next shawl. Yay! So very excited about that, and I'm gonna just do this like the pattern says for this one. Okay, so that's it for the Yarny update for this month. I'll go ahead and share more progress with you next month. Love you, friends. Bye.
Resting on the myth of old, all of the stories have been told. Secret places hidden where are gone now, as far as I can tell.